dude. That was
Oof.
it was one of those games. The low scoring, uh, not much as back and forth with the
Yeah,
punts.
yeah,
Yeah, but they got it done, man.
yeah. Shout out to San Francisco, man. I give them a lot of props. The way they kind of started the whole thing, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to give a lot of gift cards out. I'm gonna have to give a lot of gift cards out, but the tides
You,
turned
you you was
in my
nervous? Was
favor.
you nervous? What were you sweating bullets?
Not really, not really. Only because Mahomes and them, they're kind of known to be like the comeback ones. They always come back when they're below, you
Yeah,
know. So
yeah.
10 and below, that's when they're like, oh yeah, we gotta play basketball, we gotta play football now.
And that dude, and that's what I was saying the whole time. I'm like, if 49ers don't put some points on this board, the Chiefs are just like they're just like Golden State Warriors used to be,
I was
where
thinking the same
like,
thing.
listen, you're never out of the game. Like
Yeah.
you can be up 30 with the Warriors, and next thing you know, you're losing the game.
It's the
So,
third
but yeah,
quarter for them.
yeah, man, they're the same way. So yeah, when they got those turnovers and they weren't putting at least 3 points on the board, I'm like, yeah, it's over. It's over. And
Yeah.
they ended up pulling it out. So
Yeah.
we'll
So
see.
we'll see. We'll
We'll see
see.
what happens from here.
Yeah. I don't know if you wanted to talk about Usher's performance first or I talk about it, but I'll let you go.
Oh,
You wanna-
uh, yeah, I can, bro. I can talk about it. You know, listen, who
The
did you
MJ
listen? I
the,
can talk about it, man. It was really. I thought it was good. I'm not a huge fan of the Super Bowl performances sometimes because they'll play your favorite song and then it's like psh, it's
oh yeah.
gone, right?
Yeah.
So Superstar came on. And I'm like, oh yeah, sing a little bit of that, sing a little bit of that. Gone. I'm like, golly, can I? And then, yo, I mean, did you see Jermaine Dupri's socks, man?
I didn't see his
I
socks.
was
Everybody's
sitting.
talking about his head.
Oh, bro. Listen, you know the little girl socks that you put on your little daughter that has the ruffles all
From
around
Sunday
it.
school.
Yeah, man, the Sunday school ruffles that go inside of the little heel. You know, they wear the little heel shoe, little short one, and then they have the ruffle sock coming out of the top of it. He had that on, man, and I'm sitting here like, what was your stylist thinking, bro? What was your stylist thinking?
Oh man.
Uh, a- and then let me see what else. Oh, how about Swiss Beats wife getting felt up, grinded on. It interesting. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Alicia Keys, man. Alicia Keys. That was real interesting. I'm sure he listen. It's just not a good track record. Okay, we've seen what happened before, all the way back to the. I don't know if y'all real. Yeah, y'all don't know if y'all Boondocks um, connoisseurs, but even on the Boondocks, you can't leave your girl around Usher. And
That
Tom,
is
Tom, he stole Tom's girl. Then he messed up. He messed up. Man, what was my girl Kiki Palmer? He messed that. I don't know. I think the internet is going to actually get him in trouble. I'm sure they've worked it out, but that internet going crazy right now, man. So I don't know. That glove, it was on her. Okay. So I don't know. I think the internet might make Swiss Beats a little, you know, I don't know. But it was interesting. I just didn't like how long the songs were, but of course, that's how they do it there. But that was me, man.
yeah, no, I mean to be honest with you, I felt the same way with how long the songs were. Yeah. All the girls are singing that and they
That's
were
it.
so excited, and then it went to
Hmm.
the next song. And that was
That's
it.
it.
Like that's all
That was
they
it.
everybody got from certain songs. It was like, oh, come on. But overall, you realize that Usher just has such a large catalog that
Hmm.
he literally has to take snippets of everything because he won't be able to fit in a lot of the hits that were there. And it was kind of cool to see cameos. People wanted Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber didn't show up. It's all right. But yeah, so there was a lot of different things I could pull out there. The MJ
Dude.
comparisons, of course. And I was just thinking about, just from because of what we do from a technological standpoint, just the way they kind of did things when he was doing the roller skates and how they had a camera in the middle and how they were able to set up so many different things, how far technology has advanced, right? From back in the day, even when Prince was doing like Purple Rain, which crazy, honestly, man. I think was one of the greatest performances of all time. He's singing Purple Rain when the rain's falling, everybody's going side to side. Like that was such a memorable moment. Was this memorable like that? Maybe for some reasons, like you mentioned.
So, well, I mean that, but that was that was different, man. I mean, you said memorable like Prince. I mean, he's singing Purple Rain, and then it really starts raining.
Yeah, and
like in real life, it's right. They didn't make that up. That's you can't. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can recapture that, man. That was just different, right?
Yeah.
But my girl, she did do her thing up there. She did do her thing up there with that guitar, man.
Yeah, definitely. And so it's just kind of funny. It's just amazing to see how things are advancing as well. I give him props though. He's 45 years old, roller skating, four outfit changes, all this different stuff.
Killed it.
Like it was definitely something. But I gotta point something out about the Super Bowl before we move on into the questions in the comments here that I thought, and that's towards the end when I saw Taylor Swift and Mr. Kelsey embracing and as high of a status as she has, there's something about her that seems very down to earth, you know. And so it was just very interesting to see them embrace, and it almost looked like she was about to cry. I was like, oh wow. she seems emotionally involved in this more than I thought. But
that's funny.
But sometimes people are maybe I can't judge, but it's just what it seemed, and I'm like, you know what, it's cool to have somebody support you in your line of work. I'm like that's similar to us, like to have whether it's a spouse, you have your kids, obviously, but no matter what line of work you're doing, to have that support, I think it's pretty encouraging. It's pretty cool, and so we're going to be talking about a few things that could help you support wise, but. Yeah, let's go to the comment section real quickly because people did respond. We have Operation Tech Takeover says, didn't watch it, but heard about it. Don't leave your girl around me. Play for a true player for real. That is exactly the line that he's saying in the part of the halftime show. Man, them songs were 3 seconds long. Mr. White says. He ain't lying. They were 3 seconds long. He did Superstar for 2 seconds. Mitch says. Oh, Griff said I was laughing. And she said she liked it though. Oh boy. I mean, I don't know. I can't. It's hard for me to judge because sometimes they're performing. I can't even speak on that. But I was like, whoop. She said in regards to that. And then Prince's performance was God's work, player. Oh man, with the rain coming through. Joseph, stop.
I mean.
Just to stop playing, good well they gonna break up. He gonna be the next hit song. That's exactly what people were saying as a meme because they caught a moment where he kind of surprised Coach. I don't like how he did it to Coach, but he does that a lot apparently. Where he kind of came up him, he was like kind of just passionately speaking or yelling, depending on who's watching that. And the coach was startled. He didn't like expect it. And somebody put a meme that says, yo, coach, we got to change the plays because if you don't, she's going to break up with me and I'm going to be on her next song. And so when you said that, it made me laugh and think about that.
If they would have lost, that's what they were saying, man.
That's exactly what
they said. If they would have lost, she would have faded out, man.
Yeah, she's like, I don't even know much of her songs. I'm going to quote one of them, but
I don't either.
I'll leave it alone. All right, but that was the Super Bowl. We had a really good. It was a really good game overall. I think I definitely enjoyed it, and we definitely want to make sure that, first of all, we love hanging with y'all. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe if you have not already. Share this with others because we're about to get into some stuff that people are going to want to hear about. And before I get all into it, and if you can see the bottom right there. You could jump on the show. Don't forget, there's a call-in link on my page, on the YouTube page there. Go ahead, click on the link if you have anything to share, especially when we talk a little bit more about networking later. We're going to touch on Monique and the power of technology and that, but we're going to talk about a few other things that we have on the docket as well. And what we're going to talk about today, and this is actually something that Trey brought up, I thought was a really good idea, something I was thinking about, but something that he brought up. But we're going to talk about different Black historical figures within the technology space. throughout the month of February. And the first thing we're going to kind of talk about is a man named Frederick McKinley Jones. I'm not too sure if y'all are familiar with the man, the legend, but I would love if Trey, if you don't mind, to talk a little bit about him, and then we could continue with the rest of the show. But I think it's really something good to kind of just talk about for a moment.
Yeah, for sure, man. And y'all know, like I said, we just want to bring out some of the people that normally don't get a lot of shine. Obviously, there are like a whole lot of um, Black history people who have gone through time and done great things that just get kind of lost in the shadows of whatever. So we just want to highlight a few. And today, like he said, is Mr. Frederick McKinley Jones. And he developed the automatic refrigeration equipment that is used in long haul trucks to transport those perishable items. And he did that all the way back in the late 1940s. So really the only way back then to keep food cold when things were en route to get delivered to different stores and stuff was to use ice. And so thanks to his invention, because of what he did, grocery stores back then and today are able to buy and sell products like some of the ones that you use today from far distances, and they don't have to risk them like spoiling and getting done for during transportation. And so Jones technology was also used to transport blood during World War II as well. So this guy definitely, like, that's a big deal, y'all. I mean, they definitely needed blood during World War II, and the food transportation that allowed them to get things from way farther than they probably normally had to. And so because of him, we have those big refrigerated trucks, 18 wheelers. So that is Frederick McKinley Jones. Put some respect on that name.
Put some respect on that name, and I appreciate you highlighting this because sometimes we really do not know. We really do not
Nah,
know, and
man.
we need these moments to remind ourselves of great figures that haven't been basically noticed or spoken about more publicly. And so we're gonna do that every single Monday this upcoming month of February, this month that we're in right now. And of course, we are here to provide you with some information in regards to what's extra in tech in regards to tech conferences and events. And so buckle down. This week has a lot, but I would try to blaze through them like blaze the hip hop and R&B back in the day. I'm gonna try to blaze through these real quick. So y'all stay with me on this one. But the first one we have is Black Business Founders. This is actually going to be a breakfast, I believe. Registration's at 8:30 a.m. You go ahead and get your tickets right here. And the tickets cost basically $25 a price. You can pick how much you want right there. And in fact, let me actually share my screen so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So yeah,
Yeah,
25
there we
bucks
go.
right there. And basically it's a Black Business Founders and Leaders Forum. This is actually sponsored by Wells Fargo. 25 bucks per ticket right there. So definitely go and check that out. Then we have another event coming up. And then, by the way, this event that is happening, the Founders Leaders Summit, that's actually going to be in San Jose, California. So if you're in the San Jose region, that's February 15th. San Jose, California, cost is 25 bucks. Now we have another event for you that's coming up here. Let me also share my screen. But this one is going to be Black in Tech Summit. This is this Thursday, February 15th. Only a few tickets left. This is actually happening in Austin, Texas. It is free. So if you are in the region of Austin, Texas, go ahead and grab that. You could check out for the latest right there. It's happening again February 15th. So you want to check that out. Then we have BEYA, which is in Baltimore. That stands for Black Energy of the Year Career Fair. That's February 15th to the 17th in Baltimore, Maryland. The cost for that, from my understanding, is $0. So you can just look into that and see all the information that they have here as well. It's from actually February 15th to the 17th. So definitely look into that and find out a bit more about the subject. And I just want to make sure. This is a long list, y'all. So stay with me here. After that, we have Black in Networking Mixer. This event is happening again February 16th. This is going to be this upcoming Seattle. It's in Seattle, Washington, and it is free, but you have to RSVP. There's a few tickets left, so you definitely want to check that out. I believe it's an event that basically will help you with. It's in the AWS Skills Center in Seattle, so definitely check that out if you are in the Seattle, Washington region. Then we have Uncapped. All right, let me share this as well. We have Uncapped. This is going to be in LA, Los Angeles, California. Tickets range from $0 to $5. Very, very affordable. Friday, February the 16th, from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. So definitely checking that. That's going to be in the Firestone Walker Brewing Company in Marina del Rey, California. So this is for any women who are looking to break into the industry. Definitely check that out. And we are almost there, y'all. So hold on. We got 2 more events. This is actually for those that like breakfast. This is going to be a brunch actually situation. Brunch by the beach. Ooh, that sounds good. That's going to be this upcoming February 17th. It sounds cold, but it's not cold if you are in South Florida, because that's where it's located. It's in South Florida. It's $20 to $30 for this one. We have a $25 off applied ticket right there. This is Saturday, February 17th. So if you're in the area, go check out Brunch by the Beach 2024 professional kickoff event. And while we're wrapping it up, we have one more event for you this Saturday coming up. This is Black Tech. There we go. This is Black Tech Saturdays in Baltimore, Maryland. A few tickets are left because this is free as well. And it's 17th, March 2nd, and the 16th. They do it at different times throughout the year. So again, if you want to find this and more, you got to go ahead and check out Black Tech Global. This entire list was it was powered by Black Tech Global. So go ahead, your premier directory for upcoming tech events. Visit blacktechglobal.com for more. And with that being said, we are back to the show. Thank you so much for rocking with us. Again, February has a lot to offer. So that was just in 1 week. It was just 1 week. So go ahead and I appreciate you locking in with us. If you know any events, let us know and we'll add it to the bulletin board. And we'll definitely make sure that you guys are aware of that. Woo! Man.
Damn, that was a list, man. But it just goes to show they're definitely looking to help and get that information out there, to help people get in and help people get started, or help people, build a network out inside, if you just got in. So, no, it's great stuff.
Yeah, and speaking about networking, we're going to talk about just y'all stay tuned, because we're going to speak about a networking event that Trey himself was able to attend in his neck of the woods. And he's going to talk about his experience going to that event, the people he was able to meet, maybe some, I'm not sure all of the conversations that he was able to have, because they were great conversations. And this is just the reason why we want to promote and push you going to different meetups, tech conferences, tech events, because you never know who's in the building and you never know what information will be shared. Speaking about information being shared, there was something that happened over this past week, which we talk about pop culture here a little bit, and we try to tie it back into technology, try to tie it back to your work and things of that nature, because it's all, if you look at it deep enough, there's always ways that you can connect things. And we talking about it, brother. We talking about the situation recently with Miss Monique and her decision to go ahead and basically record a conversation that she's had somebody. And just so for people who don't know, Monique is a comedian that from back in the day, still a comedian, still doing her thing now. She was also the star in Precious as the mother. If you ever saw that movie, I actually had not seen that movie because I feel like it'll be just a lot.
That was hey, we on the same page, but I ain't gonna cap. It was a lot. I think I tried to watch it, and when I say I tried, like I came in, like somebody was already watching it. I came in, and I had to. That was a lot, man. It was a lot going on. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to watch this at another time when I can sit down and I never went back to it. Not on purpose, but it was a lot though.
No, I think her performance was amazing from everything I've heard. So this is not nothing. This is no knock at Monique at all. It's just the subject line. I just felt like it's so heavy and I felt like, there's so much heavy things right now. But one day I'll take the time to do it. But for now, I have not watched it. However, she was on Club Shay Shay, similar to Cat Williams, and she was sharing about a lot of things that she experienced. And a lot of people found, like, wow, she was vindicated from a lot of things that she said back in the day to now, because she came with receipts. And one of the receipts she came with, and I'll actually, we could both talk about this, but one of the receipts she came with was basically a recording that she had where Tyler Perry was basically admitting to, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he was admitting to basically kind of blackballing her, or
I mean, if you boil it down, yeah, that's literally what it was. He was
yeah.
admitting to saying that he said some things
Mhm.
that, like, he lied on her,
Yeah.
and that those lies took her from 2 to 3 million a year to almost nothing.
Yeah.
For multiple years in a row.
Yeah. And so the reason why you might be saying, like, okay, that's great and all, why y'all talking about this, is because sometimes when it comes to even we're taking that and we're thinking about work, because this is a person that had influence over somebody's income. And we were talking about it, like, that kind of could work in the workplace as well, where you have somebody that has influence over whether you stay at that company or not. And how do you protect yourself? Like, what is considered something that is good to do? What is considered something that's legal to do, in order to make sure you have receipts to protect yourself in certain situations? So that's the angle that we're kind of looking at it. So Trey, we had some great thoughts. I don't know if you want to share what you shared with me, but you had some great insight to it, and I would love to just pass it to you for a moment and let you talk about what you were saying.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. So y'all know, I mean, basically, like he said, Monique, she basically recorded Tyler Perry just to, like, yo, he's saying this stuff. And then what you end up finding out is that over time, as she told others what he said and sent the recording, they would reach out to Tyler and he would say something different. But then, so it is one of those things where that could happen in real life. And I just wanted to just share a quick story about my own self. And my past history. I was at a job, and I kind of had that same. It was similar, and if I could have recorded, I would have. Right, like, I had a manager who he came into the role. He was a newer manager, so you have the yearly review. Well, he came in and, like, I don't know, 3 months or so before that review, right? So just to set the scene. And out in public and with all the, with all my compadres and all my friends and not family, but, like, I call them family. If you work with me, you're my family, right? But, like, everybody that I work with, they all have known me for years. His manager has known me for years. And what ended up happening was the yearly review came around. So in front of the team, he was saying regular great things normally about me, and and just the teamwork and all that. But when we got into the yearly review and the one-on-one, things changed. And I'm listening to him read down certain things that just were not me, and it definitely was not my work. And he was trying to get me to sign off on that, right? Because, like, this is that review that, yo, this is why we're giving you this type of raise instead of this type of raise, or whatever the case may be. And I'm sitting here, I'm listening to him, but my blood is boiling, because right now the things that you're saying, you're attacking my character, my
Mm-hmm.
integrity. And I'm sitting here, I'm on 9.5. And so when I definitely was respectful, though. When my turn was there, that's when I went in. And so, and when I say went in, it was really just more of the passion of, yo, that's not me. That's not my work. That's not what, like, the things that you're saying, that ain't it. And I'm not about to sign off and have this validated like it is right. And it kind of got heated, y'all. So where his office is, like the whole team was right there, so they could kind of hear us talking. But it was one of those things where if we couldn't, what if his office was on the other side of the building? right? Where he's saying whatever, and I have to go with it just because I feel like I don't want to lose my job, or I don't want to, hey, well, some raise is better than none. So let me just go ahead and take it and go with what he said, even though I know that's not me. That could have very well happened, but I chose not to. And what I did was I went to his manager. I went to his boss. And I expressed my concerns, and I showed them everything. And basically what happened, y'all, she was like, look, I know you. I've been knowing you. The team stood up behind me as well, because I definitely went back out there and told them, y'all know what he tried to do. They got behind me, and basically they got that thing right, y'all. And he actually ended up getting fired behind that. But it's one of those things where, you have a certain thing going on, but if you don't have those receipts or those things that can really paint that picture and get you out of that situation, then you'll end up like some other people where they just have to take, or they have to go with what's put out there because nobody believes them. So it was, like I said, it was kind of a situation similar. And if I didn't, when I did things, write them down, right? Like, yeah, I did. You want me to train this person? You want me to help them? Yeah, I'm writing down in my notebook the date and what I did for them. Like, I'm writing these things down and keeping a track. But like Monique, she chose to keep that receipt in a video or audio. And it might be controversial for some people, but ultimately, what was she trying to do? Protect her character and protect the things that she's done. So yeah, that was my story, bro. Long version.
No, that was great. That was
but
great.
but yeah, we're just talking about that. Was she wrong? Was she wrong for recording? What do y'all think? Was Monique wrong for recording Tyler Perry? I know based on where you live, you probably say yes, and then you probably say no.
Yeah, I was actually going to comment on that as well and just say, man,
Yeah.
first of all, glad that worked out where you have the receipts. And that's one of the things I actually was thinking about. And it's not a bad situation, but it's just something that
Mm-hmm.
happened where my manager said, hey, you know what, there's this, you might be up for a promotion. Tell me, what did you do? And sometimes we think, oh, our manager's supposed to know what we do, right? But that's not
I
always the
always
case.
thought that.
Yeah. Like, that's not always the case because they're managing a bunch of different people, and you have to make sure that you're keeping track of that somewhere. Thank God with technology, we could go back to emails, we could go back to messages, we could kind of see what we've done and kind of compile that list. But I would encourage everybody to create a brag book, I think actually Tech Coach Ralph talked about that before. Somebody else talked about it as well on the channel. If not this channel, on a channel that we basically share, where you basically have this information written down somewhere, what you did, what you accomplished, what processes you set in place. I remember back in the day, I was working at a company and I created this kind of workflow that helped expedite things a little bit more when it came to like certain documents and things of that nature. And it was just coined Joseph's method. Like, all those little things are things to document and to keep, but sometimes we forget about those things. Sometimes we think about them as insignificant. But if you ever get into a place where you want to be able to share this, now you have something to share, and so that's why it's
Mm-hmm.
very important. All right, we got somebody that's coming on the show to share their experiences. I'm gonna bring you on the show. You don't no need to have your camera on, but I have Otto in the back here. Otto, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your story. Feel free to unmute yourself and you can talk and share, and we'll get this conversation rolling.
Peace and blessings, fellas. What's going on?
Peace and
What's
blessings, sir.
going on?
And so my situation, what I was going to say in regards to that, it also depends on the state that you're in too, because sometimes you can't record or it's inadmissible. What a friend of mine did, and it was a good idea that I know a lot of people started doing. We call it a work journal. So basically, every day, you just, what I'm saying, whether it be on your home computer, I wouldn't do it on your work computer because they can always be taken. But like on your home computer or in just the actual journal, write down and jot down what happens during the day. So if there was a conflict, even if it doesn't involve you, if there was a conflict with somebody, jot it down. You know what I mean? If you do like Trey said, a lot of people talk about brag books. You write down your accomplishments you do at work. Same thing. Something happens, or you get into a situation with a fellow employee, write that stuff down. Just take notes of it. Take little jots of it, because that way, if something does come up, you got your receipts. You got your backup. Well, this happened, or something happens and you get reprimanded for something, but you know for a fact somebody else has done the same thing that happened. You can bring it up. Well, Susie did the same exact thing, and nothing what happened with her, or nothing happened with Tom. Why is it being brought to me? That it was fine for them, but it's not okay for me. That don't work. We're gonna have to get together. We're gonna have to holler at HR real quick and get this all the way together, because you're not about to blame me for something that everybody else in the office is doing. But then when you think, and I might have done it, but you think I did it, now it's a problem. No, and I got receipts back on November 22nd, 2022 at 9:15. This happened, and this happened, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
You're not gonna come to me 2 years later and say, "Oh, well, you can't do this. It's in the policy book." Also, what in the policy book then when they did it? Nah, we don't play them games around here, champ.
No, sir.
I
It's
think
cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
Right.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna finish it, but you know what it is.
Oh no, no, can't finish
it. Yeah. But that's a good point, because sometimes we want to write about the good stuff, but we forget to write about the things that are negative too, that could possibly impact us in the future. I mean, I had somebody that I know of recently, like really recently, so this is happening all the time, is they basically had a similar situation where they created a method, and people were speaking, taking the method that they created and basically speaking on their behalf, saying, almost thinking like it was theirs, and trying to, for lack of a better word, really just trying to just kind of muzzle that individual. But she had receipts, and she went to the right person, and the right person got that person taken care of. So it's very important to jot these things down. It's very important to write the good, bad, and the ugly at our workplace, just to protect ourselves and keep ourselves accountable, and keep those accountable for those that have done wrong. So that was really good point. So thank you so much for sharing.
For
sure. And jumping on. We really appreciate it, man.
Always. Y'all family. I'm always gonna support my brothers now. Come on now.
Yeah. Appreciate that, bro.
Appreciate it. All right. So if anybody else has any questions, say that one more time.
No, I was saying that was crazy. Tried to steal their framework, man.
Oh yeah.
That's cold as ice. That's cold, bro.
Oh, that's ice.
Yeah, man.
I actually I'm actually gonna, and let me go back to the comment section here real quickly here, but I do have Mitch that said, actually Tech Coach Ralph was talking before about the inventor. He said that's dope. So yeah, thank you so much for supporting the channel, Tech Coach Ralph. And we actually have Mitch said, death does happen at work. A manager can keep you in a position when you are trying to leave. And that is so true. I personally think it's wrong, but if you allowed in your state to record, what can you do? And then we have Typical says, I'm just glad you guys are talking about this. Thanks for the very informative conversation. Morning. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, because here's the thing. In this economy, companies are going to they're reorganizing, right? And in the process of reorganizing, they're finding creative ways to either cut talent or to just cut off fat. But sometimes the way they do it is not integral. It's not, to be honest with you, and so they might, I'm telling you, there's creative ways. Like, I can't go into it right now, but I've seen in certain stories of very creative ways. So how do you protect yourself? Not out of fear, but out of just advocating for yourself. How do you protect yourself in the midst of that?
Yeah, and it's very important, man. I was blessed enough to like when I was like, I don't know, 21 or 22, I sat by this older black gentleman, man. And he's the one who he pulled that out, right? It wasn't called a brag book then. It was like one of those notepads, man. And he was like, Trey, you need to get you one of these. And he opened his drawer and he pulled out a notepad, and it, with the little lines on it. And he had like a list of things that he had already did, that he was doing or that he helped in, or that he collabed with, all that kind of stuff. And he told me, he was like, anything that something happens, or whenever they have you training people, or going through, he was like, put it in there and have it down there. And what's crazy is this was back when they actually when your managers were keeping tabs on what you did, and the things that you accomplished. And then sure enough, as time changed, it became, all right, now make sure you come in with what you've done, and you tell us why you think that you should. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, that really does it makes me mad, but ultimately, I guess I understand, but I just prefer to do my thing, and then you do your job, and actually, like, what are you managing if you don't even know what I'm doing, what you got me doing? But I understand.
Yeah.
And you just gotta play that game, I guess. But it's one of those things.
Yeah, and actually, Operation Tech Takeover reminded me that I had a conversation with Jewel Love. He's a coach. He helps specifically Black men transition to becoming 7-figure earners, and he was talking about how he said that Brad book in that interview. So thank you for that reminder. I'm actually going to probably say, hey, have a work journal at this point, because you said,
that was good.
That was really good. Like, just kind of keeping in mind, like, even what you just said too is, Trey, like, you documenting everything. Okay, today is what, February the 12th. What am I doing that's in my job description, or what I have been asked to do that's outside of my job description? Let me write it down.
They will do it.
Because if you keep a long list like that, when it comes time to negotiate, I mean, you have something to sit on and say, hey, thank you so much for speaking with me. I just got to take out this book for us to talk about the things I've done since being here. Let's start off with 2022. I'm playing around, but you get the point here. It's really
because they'll get amnesia when that money, when you start trying to have that money talk, that money conversation, you get amnesia, man. Oh, you forgot about them 30 teammates that I helped train in a row. Forget all. That's not in my job. I'm not supposed to be doing that, but I ain't complain. I did it for you.
Yes.
Now pay up.
Yes.
Pay up.
Don't play me, pay me. Cut the tech. Shout out to Cut the Tech.
Exactly.
What up, bro?
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen a lot, but that's why when people get promoted to next roles, they understand what you do. Yeah, that's so true. So true. And then Ty also says, yes, that was a gem. Shout out to Jewel Love. Yes, that's right. I mean, so true. You have to have it. It's almost like a prerequisite now. Like, you have to have it. And I don't want to treat it as common knowledge, because some people might be hearing this for the first time. Right. Get yourself a work journal. In fact, I have one, but I have to bring it out. It's in the side over here. But yeah, we have another amazing thing to talk about. And I believe it's amazing because it's actually something that you experienced, Trey. And I wanted to get the people in the building, not literally because they weren't there, but just through their imagination, because it was just my imagination, right? Trying to get them there. Got some good old tunes in my head tonight, this morning. But yeah, so we are going to talk about an event that you had the privilege to be a part of. Again, I don't know how much you can and cannot share. I'll let that be to your discretion, but we're going to talk about Connect 2.0, and I'm going to let you have the floor. And let me just say this before anything else. If you were a part of this event, Connect 2.0, and you are happening to be on the show right now, and you are interested, go to my YouTube page. The calling link is there. It's youtube.com/@technichetips. If not, I'm going to try to post it, because I would love to get experiences of those that actually went to Connect 2.0 to jump in on the conversation. Right. So, in fact, while he's talking, we'll come through Ty. While he's talking, I'm going to try to post the call-in link all over our platforms the best that I can. But I'm going to pass the floor to my bro and let him share his experiences.
Yeah, man. Connect 2.0. It was a networking event for the tech industry and people who were looking to get in the tech industry, the thing that made it a little bit different is, I mean, there were some heavy hitters. You know, sometimes you go into maybe a networking event and you have no clue who's coming, or even the people who they have speaking, you don't know like who they are. So you're just going in, you know, blind, like, okay, it could be good, it could not. This was not one of those, right? Like the people that were in the building, you know, Veronica White, all things. What is this? Not HR. What was that? I just blanked out. But
Like
y'all know Veronica. Yeah.
the host, you mean,
Huh?
or you said they
No,
were the
no,
host?
no. The host was Cyrus. So the host was Cyrus Harbin. Y'all know who he
Okay.
is. You know, yeah. Cyrus hosted that thing. He kept it in order, man. It was like people were really there to network, like for real, for real. So you know, you have the different sets and times that we were going through, and people were still networking, and he had to kind of hold it down and reel them back in, right? Like, you know, hey, if y'all want to talk, it's no problem. Just do it outside, please, because I mean, there were still people who were trying to get the information from the people who were on the stages and things like that. And speaking of on the stage, Kayla Burke, you know, tech sales at Microsoft Enterprise, at Microsoft, she had her panel talking about tech sales and some of the benefits of getting in. We had Jade Hassan. He did a great job, and we had Plato Gabriel did a great job. So all the people that they brought in for like to speak, man, they did a great job at what they did as far as, you know, whether it was software development. We had a guy come in even giving strategies on using your skills from tech to to build a business outside of your job, outside of your 9 to 5, and his the space that he chose to go in, which you might be a little more familiar with now because you just had an interview on Saturday talking about it, was government contracts, and his was more specifically local government contracts. So how to use your skills and the things that you know how to do, and then get local contracts from your state that they need this help, and they're paying out a boatload of money to get those things done. And so he had a really good talk on that. I would say it was great for people who were just like people who are looking for new information. Like, hey, I just heard about tech and I found myself here. They would have really enjoyed it because it was intimate enough to, like, you could move around the room and not get lost. You wouldn't get lost in the information, right? Sometimes you go to conferences and it's like, hey, we have this going on in building 2C. We can have this going on across the hallway at, you know, A1. This wasn't like that. Everything was right there in one room, and they, you know, so someone who was new, they would not have been intimidated. I met a guy actually who he came all the way from Tennessee. He came from Tennessee. He was new in tech sales, and he was just trying to build out a network. You know, he was like, I felt like, you know, I need to get into a network now and build my, like, the people around me. And he said, so he's like, you know, I just came. I didn't know anyone. I actually saw him talking to Ty, and then somehow I got started talking to him. So I was like, oh, did Ty, you know, how do you know Ty or whatever? Because you know, Ty knows everybody, y'all. That's why I thought that. But he was like, oh no, I didn't know him. This is my first time here. I don't know anyone here. So it was really cool to see that, you know, even as someone who's new in the game, you could still enjoy it. If you're looking to break in, they had just enough information to pique your interest in different spaces to allow you then to go and speak with that person, right? Everyone was super nice, super nice. As far as you could walk up to anybody, you know, introduce people. Like I even had conversations with people who they were nervous to talk to somebody else, and I'm like, oh no, they were super nice. Let's go over there. You know, so drug them over there, and you know, they got to meet them and were super excited. And so it was one of those things where, yeah, it was a good one, man. I really enjoyed myself at the event, and I'm trying to think of what else, man. Like I said, it was really intimate. You can learn that information. It was enough good people to make good connections. But for me, personally, it was just really great to connect with people who you've connected with online, right? But then online is a little bit different because you don't sometimes you don't really get the full like essence of a person or individuals until you see them in person, and that was cool for me. So people who I've already met, um to get to meet them on in real life was great. And then the new people, right? New friends, Zoya, which you know as well. I got to meet her, and
Yep.
great people. And shout out to my guy Ty, man. Ty knows everybody. He made it really easy, and his lovely wife as well. So I appreciate them.
You must have said Ty's name way too many times because he's actually here
What he say?
with us.
Hey,
Ty is
that's what I'm
actually in the
talking about.
building
That's what
Hey,
I'm
because
how's
he
it
was
talking
going,
like,
about.
guys?
what's
Hey,
up, Ty?
what's
How
up,
are
man?
you?
Good, good. Like, yeah, so I totally lost my voice from the event. I'm still dealing with that, but yeah, no, it was so awesome. Trey, it was so nice meeting you over
Yeah,
there, and yeah, just like you explained, I mean, like this event was amazing. Shout out to Nello Techie, on Instagram. Nello Techie is phenomenal for just putting on this event and inviting so many different people out. I feel like she brought like multiple groups together, and I don't know if you felt the same way too, but I
I
felt like she
did.
brought in, yeah, like she brought in like the whole breaking into tech community, of course by having like two of the biggest names and Cyrus Harbin and Kayla Burke, both huge, 300, 400,000 followers between the both of them, both at that event. But then she also had like some really amazing, just people from the government contracting side that, also have their own big followings and huge companies, multi-million dollar companies. But like when the thing about these events, kind of like what you're saying, is that there's the event, like that's one thing, but there's also the pre-event. The pre-event is going there with your crew, with the people that are going there with you, which you're part of that crew. You mentioned Zoya.
Yeah,
We had Damon and Juvan who are from the Black Tech Retreat. So shout out to the Black Tech Retreat and
my
just bringing
guys.
Black Tech people to Bali. They were out there as well. And yeah, it's just like just that whole pre-event of just grabbing some lunch, grabbing some breakfast, meeting up, getting connected, getting comfortable with each other. That makes these networking events really cool because now when you're at these events, you can kind of mosey around the room, but you have like your home base of people that you're always kind of coming back to, so you never really feel like truly alone. And then
Fact.
also the other thing, which I know you know a lot about this, Joseph, is the after event dinner. That always happens. You just got to kind of keep an eye out for it. That's always a great time because then you get to actually see people in their real element and have real conversations.
Yeah,
Cyrus was there and Kayla was there, and we all were there. It was about like what 10 of us, at the little indoor top golf place, and just having just real conversations, just talking about just aspirations, hopes, and dreams. You get to hear just real people and like just what everyone's real challenges are and what everyone is aspiring to do. And it's just super cool to see some of these people just as real human beings and to really connect in
that's
that
it.
way. So
Yeah,
yeah, it was absolutely incredible, and this is why like yeah, like as you said, the in person is so much better because the amount of words you can get out of people from in person too. I mean, like everyone's busy. Like you're trying to talk to people with 100,000 followers. Like yeah, maybe you'll get a sentence or two here, but in person, that's where you could get full on 5 minute conversation going about like their life and their story and all of that. So it's so worth it. Like shout out to all the people that flew in from LA and St. Louis and everywhere else,
hmm,
Vegas to come down. It's an inexpensive flight sometimes, even if you got to rough it on like a Spirit or a Frontier. I mean, $50 there, $50 back. A lot of times these specials, Allegiant Airlines. I mean, $100 to go in and out. You don't always have to stay at a hotel room. So like shout out to Zoya, she just pulled up, flew in, landed at like 12, and then flew out at like 9 o'clock. So like you don't always have to go to a hotel, get a hotel room. You could just fly in and
yeah,
fly out. So all you're really paying is just the ticket price of the actual event. Maybe it's free, maybe it's $50. The flight there, the flight back, check skyscanner.com or any of these other flight websites. Sometimes you get the round trip ticket free. $70. So in total, you might be out maybe 120. But the relationships that you meet from that experience, the new city you get to see, is like priceless.
Worth it. Man, you gave some quick game right there. Sky Scanner. Y'all better catch that one. I know I am.
I was gonna
You
say,
muted, Joseph.
yeah, you know, I was muted for a reason because I was pulling something up. I was gonna say, like, in regards to what you're sharing, like, I think we need to bring you back just to talk about how to maneuver in tech conferences, because I think even when we were talking, you really opened my eyes to just the importance of it. You know, and so sometimes we could be like, oh yeah, it's cool, da, 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 da. But no, there is a real element that we need to kind of look into. And I wanted to pull this up real
man.
quickly.
There's a way to navigate these networking events, and I think Ty has mastered it. You know, I think he's mastered it. And so you're right, bro. You got to have him on to talk about that kind of stuff, because that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was gonna pull up a video that you sent me that actually had Ty and I have you there in Trey. I was like, oh man, Ty sent me a video, and I was just like, oh, nice suit, brother. I was gonna pull it up, but I had some technical difficulties.
Oh man.
No, I appreciate it, guys. I mean, like I will say the thing about the rooms and yeah, maybe that's something we could talk about in the future, is that, you know, when you're in the rooms, I think the other main key too is you know, when you're in that place, like, you spend all the time on, you know, getting dressed up and, you know, putting on your best outfit, whether if you flew in, whatever the case is. Like, I think the main thing that people need to realize is, like, when you're in that room, you just got to have that inner confidence, no matter what your situation is, because, you know, you kind of when Cyrus said, when you first walked in the room, Cyrus made sure to tell everyone, hey, nobody here is aspiring. Like, if you're here in this room, you are that person. Whether you are that person now or later, inside you are that person. And I think, like, that's the thing that people need to kind of realize. Like, when you're in that room, just have your elevator pitch, who you are. If you are the founder of this, you know, even if that's not your full day job, that's who you are at that moment, because at that moment you are that, you know, whatever you're there to do. If you're there because you're a tech salesperson looking for your first opportunity, then you are a tech salesperson looking for your first opportunity. Like, you know, but you got to move with confidence, because when you move with that confidence, it allows you just to get into different conversations and rooms, and everything flows, you know. So it's not the easiest thing to do. It wasn't the easiest thing to do for me at first, but I realized that I got more headway moving that way in these types of rooms versus the other way of just kind of like sitting back, just waiting for everyone to talk. Like, you just got to go after it, put your hand out, give a handshake, and just see where it goes.
And man, and what you find out, Ty, is, like, when you do that, like, they're so receptive. They're willing to talk. They're willing to, hey, let me get your LinkedIn. Like, it's so easy. It's so much easier, but we build up all this stuff in our head on what may happen or what type of person this individual might be. And then it stops you from from your possible blessing or from that possible connection. So I love that.
Yeah. Imposter syndrome is real. It is definitely something that can be a handicap. But like you said, when you get into the room and you get into these conversations, you realize, hey, I have something of value to give as well. And your perspective, your background, you have a unique vantage point that will allow you to speak into whatever conversation. And they're like, wait a second, who are you again? Let me get your LinkedIn. That funny thing, and I'm gonna move on from this, but I wanted to add this because Ty was here. I was talking online to somebody about tech sales when we went to Text Giving Summit, and one of the speakers was there. Shout out to Justin, and he was on the line. We're getting headshots, but I was just doing my thing. I was doing my thing where somebody saw me. We started connecting. We started talking about tech sales and transitioning into different industries, and just started talking. But after he spoke, I came up to him. I said, "Man, I'd love to, meet you." He's like, "No, I heard about you." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I heard you on the line talking, and you were dropping game, man. In fact, what's your LinkedIn?" And he initiated that. I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely." So you never know what you can bring to the table, and you never know the impact that you could have by just being in the room and being yourself. and trying to provide value. A lot of times people come to these events to just take, but what can you bring? I think that's important as well.
Love that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, man. Well, Ty, I need to get some sleep, brother.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
we know it's
you
early
though.
over there.
Oh my gosh, it is dumb early over there right now. I'm not gonna
5
tell
o'clock.
you. It's literally 5 a.m. So
yeah, definitely. Trey actually got to hear my the perspective from my wife's side of me jumping on at 5 a.m. So
Yeah, man, that was hilarious. Because in my mind, bro, I know it's early over there. I always thought that you were just like on the treadmill working out or something, like working out. I didn't know, man. I didn't know. That's funny.
Yeah, he told me, but man, we appreciate you. And I see the comment
tell him
section.
we said hey.
Yeah, the comment section appreciate you too, Ty. So y'all, if y'all want Ty on back on the show, just put TY in the comment section. Type in Ty, TY. Tech Operation Tech Takeover says yes, get Ty back ASAP. ASAP Rocky. Then we have Operation Takeover also saying Ty is a network assassin. I have seen him connecting people together in the uncapped community. That brother is a blessing to the community. And that is
uncapped community. That's Zoya's
real.
Community. Get in there. It's good.
Get
Good
uncapped.
Stuff. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
No
Thanks,
worries.
man.
Thank you as well. I appreciate you, man. Ty has been a great part of the show, and it's so special to have him on. And so listen, y'all, I said it before, in 2024, we are outside. So go ahead, y'all. If y'all want to go, if y'all have not already, go ahead. Oh, yeah, the Grave Soda says Ty as well. If y'all have not already, get connected to an event. Go and check out blacktechglobal.com. That is actually Ty's website, where he takes the time to bring all of these tech events together so that you have your premium directory to find the latest and greatest tech events. And it may not be this month, next month, or the month after, but sometime this year, I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to get to a tech event because there are so many going on. In the month of February, that list is exhaustive by itself. we do it by weeks now. We don't even do like months anymore because there's so much going on, and a lot of them are free events. So listen, that's so important. I don't know if you want to say anything about that, Ty, before we move on to the next segment.
Yeah, definitely. I really appreciate the support, and yeah, it is a labor of love. I mean, there's adding stuff on there every single day. I literally added like 2 events on there during the actual time of this show. So there's 2 new events that are literally added on there, like a UX UI event, and there's another networking event that's happening in Texas. But yeah, I mean, and it's for the purpose of that. It's just getting people outside, no matter where you are, what city that you're in. I mean, there should be a way to get you out there. And even if it's not an in-person event, there are some really good online events as well. And then for those of you that go to these events, these are also opportunities for speakers. For some of you guys that are mid-level, that you've been in the game for a little bit, maybe you're a tech coach and you just like, where can I speak at? A lot of these events need speakers and want panelists, because keep in mind in this industry, how it works is some of the really big speakers and the big names often can't really go to these events because sometimes there's a speaking fee, there's a transportation fee, all of that. So if you are kind of on the come up and you're willing to just volunteer your time to speak on a panel or do a workshop, many of these events, if you reach out to the actual owners of them, are willing to have you come down and participate.
Wow. Ty, you dropping gems in game. I don't know. We weren't ready.
Do, man.
We weren't ready. I promise. I wasn't ready. I would say that. I was
Gem
ready.
dropper Ty, man. That's golly.
Oh man, dropping more golden circles than Sonic. I mean, love it. Well, with that being said, y'all, thank you so much, Ty, for dropping in with us. We appreciate you like always, and we'll be chatting soon because he just said some stuff.
Sure.
I didn't think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks, everyone.
I'm definitely hit you up, man.
Thank you.
All right now.
All right. Well, we have another segment coming up here. That segment is going to be our good old, what we love to do, which is our Brown Box Special. The Brown Box Special, man. Do you want to take this one, or I can take it too? But
oh, you got it. Go ahead, man.
All right. So we got the Brown Box Special today. And if y'all are not familiar with our glorious Brown Box Special, that's basically a time where we share in the segment of the show where somebody somewhere unfortunately had to kick the can because they did something stupid or something was done to them that was idiotic. And in this case, we got one from courtesy of BuzzFeed. So I'm going to read this to you. I was working in a small grocery store and we had a new butcher start. He showed up and asked the boss to pay for his taxi because he didn't have any money until payday. He worked for a few hours and then left for lunch and never returned. We find out why when we went to close the register and it was off by about $1,000. So we checked the cameras and watched him shove the cash into his big rain boots. The kicker, though, he went to play poker, and that's exactly where the cops found him hours later with some money still in his boot.
Bro.
You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up.
That's crazy, bro. I mean, I don't know how people have the how they can do that kind of stuff, bro. There's no way. That's scary, man.
I honestly,
he risked it. He risked it for the biscuit.
He risked it for the biscuit. I mean, like, listen, and then to have your boss give you a taxi ride there, oh my goodness.
He just got it all.
Talk about finesse.
I ain't paying for nothing.
I know, like, you gonna pay me to get there so I can rob you. I can rob you, and then gamble. Like, how do you think he's gonna get away with this? Like, I don't get that part. Like, how do you think you're gonna get away with this?
Sometimes people watch too much TV, bro. Like, they think that the stuff that they saw people do in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, technology has changed so much since then. Like, you're not getting away, man. I'm sorry. Just stop.
You're not Leonardo DiCaprio. Does not Catch Me If You Can. You are not getting that far.
No. You know how the world that we live in today, they will catch you in the same moment sometimes, man.
Yeah. Freeze.
I don't know.
Oh man, but that's it for us. If you have any Brown Box special stories, go ahead and just send it to us on LinkedIn. If you have any hilarious, funny stories, some stories that'll make your mouth drop, go ahead and let us know. But like always, thank you so much for rocking with us. Operation Tech Takeover says he thought he was gonna carve out a winning hand.
Yeah, it went straight to. I thought you were gonna say he had, stole some of the beef or something, man, on the way out.
Well, now he got beef. He got beef. He got beef in prison for sure.
That's for sure. That's for sure. That ain't the kind of beef he want either. If you know what I mean.
Whoa, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think that far, but yeah. But it's the truth. Like, he got himself in some trouble now. He better not be gambling in prison because that's a debt he don't want to pay back. I thought about it. Oh man, wow. Well, thank you so much for rocking with us. Like always, you can see the ticker below. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe to the channels if you have not. We definitely want to make sure that we are sharing, and that's almost something I forgot to do. That's one thing we want to make sure that you guys are aware of, is that we do have an official YouTube channel. I forgot to mention that as well. We have our own, right? But if you want strictly Talk That Tech information, you could go ahead to Talk That Tech here, and you can go ahead and see all the shows that we have been talking about. We had guests on as well in the past, so you definitely want to go ahead and go to Talk That Tech. Go at Talk That Tech Show. That's at Talk That Tech Show on YouTube, so you can see all the information that we have there, and definitely be able to kind of he's in the comment section. Yeah, and definitely check out all the information that we have, and definitely look at that. I'm laughing at Scott because it reminds me, you gotta eat your cornbread.
That's hilarious.
From Life. Oh man, classic line. All right, well, y'all, thank you so much, like always, and until next time, family. Thank you for rocking with us on Talk That Tech.
The number one tech morning show in the world. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace and elbow grease.